Hi y'all, Doc Martha here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I don't know if you're new to the world of trauma-informed or if you've been doing this longer than I have, but what I do know is that there's something better than trauma-informed, and it's time for us to switch gears. My name is Dr. Martha Merchant. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I have been working with educators to create more trauma-informed classrooms and schools for the last 13 years. We've done some good work, maybe even some great work. I have watched teachers take the information they learned and turn it into something doable on a budget, practical in a classroom, and helpful to educators and students alike. It's really good information, and it's not always taught in teacher programs. So I think that teachers often feel relieved to learn the information, and it's helped them to move their practice forward. But individual educators alone cannot shift entire schools or districts, because that's also part of trauma-informed, right? Is looking at systems and structures that uphold and maintain societal oppressions that continue to cause harm so that we can change them. So, like I said, trauma-informed wasn't the end goal. The thing that makes this work come alive and go beyond trauma-informed was that application of the information. I love to read and talk about information, but the secret sauce has always been the ways that educators created practical components that they could use in the classroom day to day. What's beyond trauma-informed? Sean Ginwright talks about healing-centered. People are still talking about ACEs, and they're trying to transform that to PACEs, which I can't remember what that stands for. And there's an organization called Trauma Transformed, which I really like. But all of those still center the harm, right? Center the trauma. I think that better than trauma-informed may include a return to indigenous practices, a remembering of ancestral wisdoms. And the only way to get there is through community. I know what I know, you know what you know, and those things in isolation don't move the needle, right? I believe that transformation comes from the sharing of that knowledge and the doing of it together. When I present or work with a school or district, that is time limited, and it's still set in the systems that uphold, capitalism. And so that information exchange stops when the contract ends. And that's why I'm here on this platform, to attempt in some small way to create a community that's made up of people from all over and that provides a place where we can share new ideas, old ideas, and not just things that went great, but also things that didn't go so well, so that we can learn from one another. As a therapy student, I had consult groups and supervisors. I know that educators also have people in their cohort with them as they're still students, and coaches maybe in the first few years of teaching. But after that support, once we're licensed or certificated, that support often just ends. My hope for this channel is to provide a place where we can support one another, where we can hear about and share about the ways that we're creating awesome teaching and learning experiences. If you have ideas you want to share or things you'd like to hear more about, please feel free to put it in the comments. Take care, y'all.